negotiating for a 4-day work week.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Charles Schwab. Schwab offers a modern approach to wealth management with personalized financial planning to meet an investor's specific needs and the flexibility to adapt as those needs change with time. Learn more at schwab.com/plan.
From Marketplace in Washington, I'm Nancy Marshall-Genzer in for David Brancaccio. First, the Biden administration's charm offensive in China continues today with a visit by Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo. She's the third high-ranking U.S. official to visit Beijing this summer. The message is the same. The U.S. wants to maintain strong economic ties with the world's second largest economy. How remains the unanswered question. Marketplace's Nova Safo has more.
The agreement includes a so-called information exchange that the U.S. says will aim to reduce misunderstandings over national security policies affecting trade. One major sore spot is a U.S. ban on advanced microchip exports. China accuses the U.S. of protectionism. The Biden administration has stood firm over its decision, and Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo today again said trade decisions on national security grounds are not up for discussion. Still, the U.S. is seeking to assuage some Chinese concerns over economic and trade policies and to make it easier for American businesses to operate in the world's second largest economy. Secretary Raimondo and her Chinese counterpart agreed to meet at least once a year to maintain dialogue. And a separate working group is to meet twice a year over trade and investment issues. The Biden administration has undertaken a summer-long charm offensive on China with earlier visits by Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
United Auto Workers voted on Friday to authorize a strike. The union is negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement with the big three Detroit automakers, Ford, GM, and Stellantis. It's important to say here that workers aren't on strike yet, but they have given union leaders the authority to call a strike if necessary. One of the UAW's demands, a 4-day work week at 5-day work week pay. Here's Marketplace's Matt Levin.
General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis have all posted billions in profits on recent earnings reports. That's emboldened the UAW, says Harry Katz, professor of labor relations at Cornell.
The auto companies are making significant profits because of steady sales. So the auto companies would have a lot to lose if the auto workers went on strike.
Katz says the union likely has bigger priorities than the 4-day work week, wage bumps of at least 40%, restoring guaranteed pension benefits. But getting a 32-hour work week without losing pay could help the UAW handle the transition to a green economy. Sharon Block is a professor at Harvard Law School.
It's a well-known fact that assembling electric vehicles takes fewer person power hours than an internal combustion engine.
The EV transition poses another challenge for auto workers, unionizing the plants that build EV batteries. I'm Matt Levin for Marketplace.
Let's do the numbers. The FTSE in London is up less than 0.1%. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ futures are higher by more than 0.5%, with the Dow future up more than 150 points. The 10-year Treasury yield is up at 4.2%.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by C3 AI. C3 Generative AI provides ChatGPT enterprise search that is verifiable, secure, and accurate across all enterprise data. C3.ai. This is enterprise AI. And by Odoo, focused on providing all-in-one open-source business management software with fully integrated applications for every business need. More at odoo.com.
Lebanon is in the midst of a huge economic crisis. Inflation is in triple digits and the banking system has collapsed. The country's currency, the Lebanese pound or lira in Arabic, is in free fall. But one industry, wine, is booming despite everything. The BBC's Hannah McCarthy reports.
I'm at a wine fair in Beirut. Lebanon currently produces over 7.5 million bottles of wine every year, and for decades it has been one of the country's few successful exports. Even now, while Lebanon is going through a severe financial crisis, new wineries have been continuing to open.
3 years ago we just started experimenting with different types of grapes and varieties. But last year we actually said, that's it, let's do our own wine. So this year we're releasing our first 2 wines under Hiya. Hiya means she in Arabic.
Despite the interest in Lebanese wine, power cuts and the banking crisis have created major obstacles for people like Michelle Shami, who are launching their new wines.
You go to work on something and then there's no electricity. Just trying to get money out of the bank is difficult. Just so many struggles that I guess is just native to here and that people don't understand unless they've actually been here. So yeah, these are the tough things about living here and making wine here.
Gaston Hochar's family has been making wine in Lebanon for 3 generations. Chateau Mazar is bottled on a mountain overlooking the town of Ghazir and today can be found in stores around the world.
Today we ship worldwide all the wines except the Korai, but they all exist a little bit everywhere. We're not concentrating on specific markets. Market goes down, you have other which compensate.
Gaston knows all about the challenges of making and exporting wine from Lebanon.
Today you have nearly 60 producers in Lebanon. It's not an easy market. It's not at all easy to export. My father used to travel 5-6 months a year. This year is challenging because you have a lot of things happening all over the world between inflation and the Ukraine, Russian war. But we have a certain resiliency.
The one thing Gaston isn't worried about is demand for Lebanese wine.
People who are knowledgeable in wine realize that these tastes are not often found all over the world. And so therefore, if they want these characters, then they have to buy Mazar. And therefore, the demand is there, and I'm not afraid it's going to disappear.
Amidst all the economic gloom in Lebanon, Lebanese wine looks set to remain one of the few bright lights for the country for some time to come. In Lebanon, I'm the BBC's Hannah McCarthy for Marketplace.
A lot can happen in a day when it comes to the economy and all its moving parts, from workplace culture to markets. We've got you covered here on the Morning Report and in the evening. You can check out Marketplace with Kai Rizdal on Public Radio Podcast or at marketplace.org. I'm Nancy Marshall Genzer with the Marketplace Morning Report from APM, American Public Media.